everybody, Jared back again, and I decided to put together a little sort of mashup video of all the really cool parts of CES today, at least I thought was cool. Obviously I had my eyes and ears glued to the computer, checking out all the cool latest announcements and stuff like that. Wrote down on a piece of paper, actually I typed it out and printed it up. Anyways, I wanted to kind of cherry pick some of the coolest things, at least in my opinion, that were announced and happened today at CES. First and foremost, which probably stole the spotlight, was Nvidia's announcement of Project Shield. This is a mobile gaming console, Nvidia's first, and probably an industry first. I know there are other mobile gaming platforms out there like the PlayStation Vita and so on and so forth, but they are completely separate, and you'll see why if you happen to look into Project Shield a little bit more. Keeping in mind this is still a project, and the product that we're seeing today may not be the end product, as well as the name's definitely going to change. But to just kind of mention a few of the specs, it has a 5-inch 720p clamshell display, 36-hour-watt batteries, which basically translates to like 10 to 15 hours of continuous, high-performance gaming. A micro USB and HDMI out port. Now, micro USB obviously for charging and data transfer, and the HDMI out is, well, yeah, to your TV or any device that accepts HDMI and has a screen, I guess. Furthermore, it has a micro SD slot, which is needed, especially considering this is probably going to be downloading those Tegra optimized games and other games these days. Generally you're looking at about 2 to 2.5 gigs for games these days, so having an expandable SD card slot is awesome. No word yet or details have been leaked or released of whether or not it's got internal storage or anything like that. Moving on from there, you've also got dual speakers, which apparently sound absolutely fantastic. I watched a couple of demo videos on YouTube with the Tegra rep sitting right there playing it, and he bumped it up to full and it sounded crazy loud. It also has a 3.5mm headphones jack, so you're gonna need that. And also, and this is the really cool part, aside from playing Android games from the Android platform, it actually allows you to connect to Steam. So obviously Nvidia has been working with Steam or has worked something out with them where you can now stream your Steam games to this Project Shield device. So if you have a Steam account, you play Counter-Strike or whatever the other games, I don't really play Steam that much, you'll have to forgive me, then you'll be able to play those games with those profiles and that account on the device, on the go, wherever you want, whenever you want, which is awesome. And aside from that, as well as PC game streaming as well. That's right, they actually showed us in the presentation video that they were streaming Assassin's Creed 3 to this Project Shield device, which was really exciting to see, and it looked absolutely fantastic. Now get this, all of this is running on stock Android 4.2, so it's actually got a stock Android 4.2 platform. The display is a touchscreen, you can actually scroll through it, add widgets, take them away, go to the Play Store, the whole 9 yards. It's an Android device, but for mobile gaming, which is absolutely amazing. Now, aside from that, they also managed to launch and announce their new Nvidia Cloud Gaming. Now, a lot of companies in the past have tried this and failed miserably. Nvidia has a lot of money, and a lot of gaming backers and support in the whole 9 yards with that ecosystem or that industry. So I won't be surprised if they make a success out of this, but it would be interesting to see, are they going to be supplying us with their own title of games? Are they going to be is it going to be just Tegra games? It'll be interesting to see, but at least you get the Steam and the PC game compatibility. So anyways, Nvidia Cloud Gaming, that's another story. During that Nvidia presentation, we actually got to see some sneak peek footage of the new Dead Trigger 2 game, which is awesome, set to be released apparently in Q2 of 2013 this year. That looked absolutely fantastic. The graphics look like they may have been spruced up a little bit, and it looks like it's got a bit more of an I'm not going to call it an open world concept like Grand Theft Auto, but the presentation video was like set in the middle of a street downtown in some city, and you had some zombie the size of a tower walking towards you, who then you get to shoot with this massive machine gun. That was really cool. Now, there were a ton of Google TV set-top boxes announced and launched and so on and so forth. All of them are pretty mundane, with the exception of, which caught my eye, the Asus Qube. Now, I'm going to read you a little excerpt that I took from the internet, and it says, instantly add Google TV to your HDTV with the Asus Qube. Asus Qube with Google TV offers both motion control and voice search that integrates Google Play, Chrome, YouTube, all in one compact device. 100,000 movies, Amazon Video, Netflix, yada yada yada. Oh, and this was the interesting part. The Qube will actually also come with 50 gigs of web storage, care of Asus. Now, I don't know if that's going to be like Asus's own brand of cloud storage or who it's going to be with, but you get 50 gigs nevertheless. That's cool, right? So the next interesting piece of technology, it wasn't phones. There weren't really any phones today. There were actually quite a few, but none that anybody really cares about that we're going to really see in the North American markets. Vizio, if you're familiar with that name, actually is kind of a value brand manufacturer of Android tablets. And they came out the gate today with a 10-inch tablet. And they've also announced that they're going to be the first of, one of the first, companies to release a tablet with a new Nvidia 4 processor. There's also several other companies that are going to be releasing the Tegra 4 processor, so I guess saying that you're among the first is kind of silly when you should wait to see who actually gets it out on the market in retail stores first. Then you can say you were the first company to come up with that. Anyways, what it's going to come with, Tegra 4 chip, a resolution of 2560 by 1600, which is pretty damn impressive. Stock Android 4.2, 32 gigs of storage, as well as front and rear facing cameras and a bunch of USB or different connectivities ports on the back. So that's cool, but there isn't a whole lot of other specs like what processor it's going to come with and what type of display it has, things like that. These are all sort of still new and held secrets, I suppose. LG also made a big splash today with their showing off actually their 55-inch and 65-inch 4K TVs to kind of sit pretty right next to their 85-inch 4K TV. If you don't know what 4K is, it's now actually not being called 4K anymore. It's called Ultra HD, which is actually a higher level of high definition than 1080p. And it looks absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, search for those videos. You'll see it. Even through the video, you can see the quality improvements are just bar none. Moving on from there, LG also has some OLED TVs, which stands for Organic LED, right? And those look absolutely phenomenal as well. That's something you guys should definitely check out, and I'll be excited to look forward to as they start to be released in brick and mortar stores. Now another interesting sort of bit of, I guess, like an announcement today. Vuzix, which is a company I've never heard of, but apparently they've been around for a while, released their own version of Google Smart Glass, and I guess in their minds it's a bad comparison, but in my mind it's a perfect comparison. The M100, which is basically the same thing as Google Glass, but not as cool. So you won't be able to see through it. What else? It's only compatible with Android right now, but apparently they're looking to get iOS integration in the future. I believe it's rocking ice cream sandwich. Don't quote me on that. It could be Android 4.1. I'm not 100% sure. But it's not see-through, and it's got a bunch of like toggle buttons on the side, and that's how you navigate up and down. And basically what you're looking at is an exact replica of your smartphone screen, whereas Google Glass is kind of like its own platform almost. It's going to be its own thing. It's not going to look anything like a smartphone. It's going to be something completely different. But anyways, if you're interested in that, check it out. Vuzix, VUWZIX, I believe is how they pronounced it, and it's the M100. It's an interesting product. In my opinion, what it's going to be like is comparing it like this. The value brand Google Glass. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. And certainly last but not least, Polaroid finally, and this has been rumored for a while, and I don't know why they didn't just finally admit it, but I guess they were waiting for CES, so it makes sense. The Polaroid Android camera, which is actually being called the model number IM1836, the most ridiculous model number for a cool camera you could ever come up with. Nevertheless, it's going to come with an 18.1 megapixel interchangeable lens capable of recording 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second with a 3.5-inch display and Android 4.1. Fantastic. What else do we know about this camera? Absolutely nothing. A lot of these companies are showing us their products, but we don't really get to see the spec sheets until it actually becomes a retail product. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope this sort of caught you up with the day with all the cool little tidbits from CES 2013. If you liked the video, shoot me some love by hitting that likes button down below. And if you haven't already, you may want to consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Do try to put out videos 5 days a week. Sometimes it's 4. That's it, though. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.